Over the last few years, I have talked a good bit about dry luggage, mostly because for me it is a big deal keeping my dry stuff, well, dry. Imagine pulling into camp as the sun is going down. You are cold, and maybe you just rolled through a storm for the last hour. You start unpacking your gear only to realize all your dry gear is wet. Now what? Well, that has happened to me before, years ago, and since then I have spent a lot of energy trying to ensure that it never happens to me again. Cold and wet equals hypothermia, kids. You have seen me talking about dry bags, sacks, and dry luggage over the last few years, and apparently there is a big difference in quality and longevity. These cheap Amazon bags are holding up well compared to the Sea to Summit bag, which did not hold up well and was also not cheap. I used this huge Amazon dry luggage last year on the TAT, and it performed well, except it was just too damned big. Would it hold all my crap? Yes, but it kept sliding forward, so I spent much of the trip sitting on top of it or pushing it backwards with my butt as I rode the trail. So I decided to upgrade. Looking at this bag from SealLine, I have been taking on motorcycle adventures for the past 15 years, and before that, it was traveling in a whitewater canoe for a decade, swimming the rapids with me all that time. Still waterproof after all these years. So I reached out to SealLine to see if they would send me some of their latest products to try out. And this is what they sent me. A Pro Zip Duffel 40 liter and two sizes of blocker Purge Air dry sacks. I was impressed with both the design and the build quality. The Pro Zip Duffel has a harder covering than I ever had seen before. More like traditional luggage, but still pliable. And the zipper is not only watertight, but airtight as well. I did not know you could do this with a zipper with luggage. As a result, as sunlight hits the bag, it expands and holds the air inside. Very impressive that you can not only keep moisture out, but air inside the bag, just like a Ziploc bag. The small, lightweight Blocker Purge Air dry sacks come in a variety of sizes, and you can fit them in your non-waterproof luggage, like my Jivvy cases. It seems they all leak after a while, right? They function much like a compression sack without the straps. Instead, they have a one-way valve that allows you to push the air out of the bag and lets you conform the contents to your storage space. I now much prefer these compression sacks over the strap compression sacks, as you might imagine. Speaking of motorcycle crashes, all these bags survived the crash and came out much better than I did even. The duffel bag saw the worst of the damage. Imagine that, sliding down the interstate at 80 miles an hour. It was a quick fix, however, just a bit of shoe goo on the small holes, and I am back in business, baby. I really dig this gear, and I have full faith in arriving to camp with dry gear from now on out. I dropped a link in the description so you can check them out, along with some other videos you might be interested in. Thanks for watching.